Hello there. They call me Mystery. So you've probably heard of the idea that working, or specifically capitalism, is exploitative before. But what the hell does that actually mean? The Cambridge Dictionary defines exploitation as the use of something in order to get an advantage from it. In the sense of capitalism, that something being used are employees. But how are they being taken advantage of? Let's find out.
My name is Mystery. For reasons unknown, I have been thrown back into the past almost 100 years, and this is my story.
Broadly, capitalism relates to the productive elements of an economy, those industries and sections that relate to a country's overall product, the commodities being created and traded everywhere that sustain the human race and our modern lifestyles. In order to answer the question of exploitation, we are going to have to go back to the origin of modern economic thinking, formed around the start of the industrial era. From this classical economics, there is a theory called the labor theory of value. Now, this theory outlines basically where all the value or the products of society come from. People often think of things as valuable, which they can be. We as humans love to put value on things, but this type of projected value is subjective. And what I find valuable might not be valuable to you. The important question in this analysis is, where does use value come from? Being usable items or products. Objects like a table and a knife have value as they can be used to make something, but on their own, they do nothing. It is only when someone uses their skill and effort utilizing these two items is when new value is created. Hence, new value is only ever created when a worker or a person who labors with conscious effort to produce or create a product does so, whether they use existing products to help them or not. This is the labor theory of value. It is only work, someone's effort and labor, that adds value to things or creates value. Now, many people who know a bit about this stuff, especially people who are critical of this theory, like to think it was Karl Marx who came up with this, and this is the theory of some wild commie. Usually these critical people, advocates for capitalism and libertarianism, don't realize that it was actually people like Adam Smith who actually came up with and developed this theory, not Marx. Now, if you run with this labor theory of value, that all use values, all the stuff that is created that feeds us and clothes us and provides for our needs is correct, if you then apply it to the workplace, things get interesting. This is the contribution of Marx. For example, when someone goes to work in a productive business, let's say in a bakery, their boss pays them a wage. For argument's sake, let's say for the day. A day's wage is $50 for 8 hours work. Now let's say the baker makes $50 worth of bread in 5 hours, covering their wage. That means for the next 3 hours, they make $30 extra bread or value. This $30 isn't paid to the worker, who is combining ingredients and kitchen implements to make new value. It belongs to the boss. So, technically, the worker has just worked for free for 3 hours and created more than their value. All the additional value goes to the business. Working for free, creating more than what you get paid for, this is exploitation, plain and simple. Up until I said the word exploitation, you were probably thinking, yeah, well, that's just the way the world works. The business owner pays me and takes everything. And you'd be 100% right, because this is the backbone of the modern economic system. Ask yourself though, would you sign up for a job in which you knew you would be working for free? You wouldn't come to work and do a shift without being paid, just so the business can make money. So why then is it acceptable that a portion of the working day is spent working for free? It's still exploitation, whether we feel it's okay or not. Typically, when people go for a job, the terms are set. The pay is $20 an hour or $40,000 a year. And so we don't sit there and figure out how much money does my work create each day or each year, and how much work do I technically do for free. This is generally too hard to figure out, and that's what the system really relies on. Workers not knowing the value that they are creating and trading it off for a set price. From the business owner's perspective, when they give money to an employee for a day's work, they aren't expecting them to produce only their value, finish up, and walk away. They wouldn't make any money this way. They expect employees to make more than what they are paid. This is a recognition that workers or someone's labor makes all the value economically, and the system must squeeze more out of working people to exist. Now, I'm not saying bosses are evil, though it's not hard to come to this conclusion, but underpaying workers is the basis of the economy, and no one talks about it. Whether this whole system is wrong or right is a separate question, but it is clear that it is based on exploitation. Just keep that in mind. Now, if you thought this was interesting, give it a like and leave a comment and share it with someone who should hear this. And subscribe for more. There is much to learn before we can unlock the revolution. Remember, I am, you are, we are a mystery.